Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1967 Webster XL-500 vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top of the margins, this is your left margin, and just push it down and move it like that. Make sure it just locks in. Same with this side. I like to have them at the beginning and the end of the page. And there's a button behind the carriage that allows you to flip up that switchblade support arm. So right now I have it on red ink. I'm going to push it down so I finish in black, which is just this switch here to the bottom. Prints the top portion of the ribbon. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 1.5, or 2. Right now we have it on single, but if you want 1.5, you just flip the switch forward 1. Skips 1.5, 1 more, skips 2. That works good. We're going to keep it on 1 and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line. I'm going to switch this switch back up to the red square. Prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. Really nice typing machine. I consider this more of a modern style typewriter. Brother still makes printers today and other electronic stuff. So when brother started the typewriter industry, they did really well, and they still have business today, which a lot of typewriter companies do not. So this is more of a modern style typewriter. To pull the page out easy, what is this? I guess this switch does it. Yeah, it does do it. So it doesn't lock, but this switch right here, if you just pull it back a little bit, it'll unlock the rollers underneath the plat, allowing you to pull the page out easy or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Most typewriters will have something like this, but it locks into a position to where you can do it without just holding it. But this one, you have to hold it, which is actually kind of convenient, so that way you don't accidentally forget to leave it and then the paper doesn't feed correctly. So this is the support arm that just flips back down and locks into that spot, and the button is underneath to flip that up. Pretty cool. Shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. This is your touch control from low to high. So the higher up you go, the more tension there is when you hit the keys, but you got to hit them a little harder for them to print. When you have it on low, you don't have to hit them as hard, but they don't respond as fast. Backspace on the right. Works good. Tab on the top. It has preset tabs, I think every 5 spaces. So every time you hit that tab, you'll skip 5 spaces. That works good. This is the color selector switch. We already did black and red. If you put it in the middle, the vibrator doesn't go up at all. So if you have a typewriter and it's not printing, then check that. So make sure that that's not in the middle. You have it on the bottom. Prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. And this is your margin release. You get to the end of the margin, there's a lock that won't let you type past that block, and you hit that. It'll allow you to get past that to finish the word at the end of the page. Open the hood, this pops right off. Has these little poles that just kind of sit right in there, and all the brand new ribbons loaded to the left, so it's pulling to the right. If you want to switch the direction, just the little fork that holds the ribbon. You just move it to one direction or the other. And now it's pulling to the opposite direction. It has an automatic ribbon reverse, so it might not permanently change it. It's going to go to whatever direction has the least amount of ribbon on it. That works good. Pop this back down. Carriage release on one side, very smooth. And this is the carriage lock. This helps protect the escapement when it's in the case. You just lift it up like that, and then it'll lock in the middle. Let's try that. So it just locks it in the middle, so when you have it in the case, you don't damage the escapement, which is the gear that allows the carriage to move when you type. If you damage that, it's very hard to fix. And if you have this switch that dictates your spacing, you have it on the R, it'll disable the spacing altogether when you turn the knob, so you can get to an exact spot on the page when you push it up to the 1. gets this clicks. Each one of those clicks is a half a space. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.